Alright guys, we are back with Game of Fortune. You might hear my dogs in the background. You might hear them tussling and barking. It's okay. That's what this channel consists of. Just noisy background and, focusing on the game. Or trying to focus at least. But anyways, let's get back to this reading of part 2 of Game of Fortune. So, yeah, we might be alive, but where the hell are we? That's what I'm trying to figure out. The red-headed woman interjected as she walked towards us with a sheepish woman in tow. You don't understand any of this nonsense either, do you? I can't say that I do. Right, doors of light don't just render you unconscious and transport you to weird places. Doors of light also don't appear out of nowhere. Don't get smart with me, it's unusual and I don't like it. I know it's weird, but it doesn't seem to be all that bad. The sheepish woman finally spoke up as she nervously glanced between the red-haired woman and me. Some of the others don't seem all that worried, so it's probably fine. I know you mean well, but the fact that they aren't panicking doesn't mean that we're in the ideal situation. We could have been drugged and carted off to some remote facility for who knows what. Drug us, all 16 of us, and without anyone noticing or putting up a fight. They had plenty of opportunities. They could have done it in the trucks on the drive here. I don't know, it sounds like you're just trying to explain the unexplainable. Maybe the divine being really did just teleport us here. Spare me with the spiritual hippie bullcrap. I entertained it because I thought we'd get something out of it and not get sent to wherever the hell this is. I mean, look around. Do you see any exits around here? This place is so weird. And most of the others are acting like it's perfectly normal. If anything, I find it more suspicious that more people aren't freaking out or at least questioning what's going on right now. She's got a point. Some of the people here seem too lax about all this. That's probably because they know what's going on, right? I mean, some of these people here clearly know what this place is. Can you shut it, lady? The crass young man shouted from across the room. You're so damn loud that we're gonna miss the announcement. What did you just say, you little punk? I said you're loud and you need to shut your trap. I can't even hear myself think. We're here in the Clover Lounge and all you keep doing is yakking about how this doesn't make sense. The woman's eyes narrowed as she strode up to the young man. Ah, don't. He's just a kid. I'm 20 years old. I'm not a kid. He's old enough that he should know when to speak and when to keep his mouth shut. Don't waste your breath. You'll get the answers you want soon anyways. And you don't want to make any enemy of me right now, if you can help it. Punk ass kid, you better be telling the truth. He is. While his tone could certainly use some work, he certainly is not saying anything false. For a moment, it seemed like the woman was placated enough to keep herself from socking the kid in the mouth. I'd been hoping that we'd get a moment to rest and cool off, but as soon as she stepped back, a voice called out to us. Seemed like fate had other plans. Let me turn my volume up. What a spectacle. I didn't think we'd get a spat like that until we got started. We have such a lively group here today, don't we? The voice was unfamiliar, and looking around, it seemed like most of us were trying to figure out who was speaking, or at least where they were. Up here, draw your eyes up this way. Our eyes turned upwards, and we were greeted by the sight of a woman perched on a throne mounted to one of the walls. Do I finally have your attention? Excellent. Oh, it's so wonderful to be able to see your beautiful faces. There are even a few here that I recognize. Did you miss me so much that you wanted to come and see me again? I'm flattered, truly. Oh, but don't worry. I don't play favorites, and I'm sure I'll learn to love all of the newcomers as much as the veterans. The lady exuded an air of knowledge, elegance, and control, as if she saw everything, understood everything, and in a way governed everything. Who are you? You weren't with us in the Cloverfield, and I don't remember you standing in the line to go through the gate. You think she snuck in? Maybe. We were in the middle of the line when we went in. No one snuck in. Yeah, we were the last ones to jump in and no one tried to cut in front of us or anything. Oh, you're so cute. I could tell that you've really got no idea what's going on. Hey, don't worry, I'm going to explain everything in detail shortly. But suffice to say, I don't need to sneak into my own home, my own realm. Your own realm? Then are you the fourth divine? Is that what people are calling me now? It's fitting in a way, but also so tacky. Like putting diamonds in gold and then lining them with silver, only to dip them in chocolate. Sounds kind of awesome if you ask me. Bleh, just way too tacky. You can call me that out there, but don't use that title here, alright? Well, what would you have us call you then? That's the thing, isn't it? I was going to go with Jin or Zero since they both have 4 letters. But then I realized that they were already taken, and the last thing I want to do is steal somebody else's identity. So, plus, Zero isn't really my deal, and I'm about the number 4. Would you want us to call you 4 then? That's even worse. It's way too no. I don't know what that word said. I suppose you got a point there. So, after much deliberation and discussion with myself, I ended up deciding that you should call me Belle. 4 letters is elegant, simple, and has the mysticism to it, don't you think? It works as well as any other 4 letter name. My dogs might bark. The trash is here. The trash people are here. All right, we're back. Belle, right? Okay, you're some kind of divine ruler here. Now you're picking up what I'm laying down, Clyde. Though, let me guess, you don't really know what happens here in my realm, do you? Not really, if I'm being honest. It's kind of weird to be in a place that's supposedly holy or spiritual, I guess. Honesty is a good virtue to have, and someone needs to admit not knowing so those too prideful to say can get answers too. I can tell you that I'm very much a divine being of sorts, though I understand your hesitation. Perhaps you would like a demonstration? Belle hopped down from her seat, gently floating to the ground as though gravity had been lessened just for her. Think of a number, any number. You're going to try and read my mind. I can do more than that. In fact, think of a number, a color, and an animal. Alright? If she was claiming she could read my mind, I'd just think of something ridiculous. 8 magenta giraffes. Oh, excellent choice there. Voila. Belle snapped her fingers, and a plum of blue smoke appeared nearby, then cleared to reveal 8 magenta giraffes. What the actual hell? Eek! What? What the heck? How did you? This is my realm, so I could do all sorts of fun things, like this. Belle clapped her hands, and the giraffes shrunk into blue chickens. Hold on, y'all. I need to take a drink. All right, I'm back. Then, as if that wasn't enough, she kneaded them all together into some kind of dough, which she tossed in the air. By the time she caught it, it had transformed into a fully cooked pizza. It was so ridiculous that I had to rub my eyes and stare in silence as she gingerly started eating a slice. And I can do way more than that too. I can fly, teleport from place to place, and oh, my absolute favorite ability is she stuffed her mouth and her words grew incomprehensible. Well, I'll tell you later. You might believe me now, right? Even if you don't, I'm sure that enough people here probably do. So you're a god of some spiritual being or whatever? What's this place all about? I'm glad you asked, Devin. It's really quite simple. You're here to participate in my game, the Game of Fortune, a competition for you all to duke it out and earn my favor, where the winner gets a wish granted by yours truly. A wish? That's right. You'll get an amazing wish. And I'm not going to monkey's paw you or do anything evil. I'll grant it to you with every intention that you've got for it. I really am just the greatest, aren't I? You are. You certainly are the greatest, Miss Bell. Oh, thank you, thank you. Just call me Belle is fine. Gotcha. Well, Belle, can we ask any questions? There are so many. Whoa, 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 whoa. What happened? Why did it just skip? It just skipped, and I have no idea why it skipped all that. But whatever. You're putting the cart before the horse now, aren't you, Willie? We haven't even spent a full 5 minutes here, and you're already asking me about my private life. Tell you what, you win the game, and I answer any and all questions you got. Until then, everything is on the need to know basis. Okay? I guess that's fair. You've got all your own rules and stuff to follow. So we'll be playing a game to get some wishes granted. That seems like a nice deal to me. What are the rules? There's certainly a lot of things I'd like to wish for if I had the chance. Wishes don't exist, idiot. And even if they did, I wouldn't trust someone acting like this with any mine. Even after all I've shown you, you're still doubtful, huh? Well, I suppose a mix of skepticism and belief is what makes life interesting. As for your question, Jade, I'll explain the rules quite simply. The Game of Fortune is a battle royale where one winner will emerge victorious and earn a wish of their choosing. We'll play 4 rounds total, with each round having teams of 4 people, and in those groups you'll play a variety of games. After each round, exactly 4 players will be removed from the game. The final round will have exactly 4 participants fighting for victory. My nose is like running. And the winner, of course, be getting their wish granted. Seems straightforward enough. Starting from the first round, we'll go from 16 players to 12 to 8 to 4 and finally to 1 winner. 4 rounds of games. It's such a lovely number, isn't it? But you hit the nail on the head. If you got that much down, then the rest will be a breeze to understand. Take a look at the 4 doors over there. Belle pointed to large doors, each numbered 1 through 4. Roll 1. 4 of you will enter one of these doors, starting with the first one, and will participate in a game. Exactly 4 people must enter, no more and no less, or I won't activate the game. Rule 2. Once the game is started, no other doors can be entered until the previous door games have been completed. Rule 3. Each game will be randomly selected from a category of 4 potential options where applicable, and those options are 2 versus 2, a team where one team of 2 will win and the other team of 2 will be disqualified. 1 versus 3, a game of power dynamic where either one player or the opposing team of 3 players win, the losing side disqualified. 4-player dilemma, a wild game with rules that can vary drastically. Sometimes it's cooperative, competitive, or a mix of both. This game can have anywhere between 0 to 4 winners and 0 to 4 players being disqualified. All for One, a competitive game where only one player may win, so it's everyone for themselves. May I ask a question? You may indeed. You said that these game categories are randomly selected where applicable. What does that mean exactly? Oh, it just means that depending on the result of the previous game, some options might not be viable anymore. I'm sure the logic behind that is clear, right? Crystal, please continue. I shall. There's one more rule to go over. Rule 4. Every game will have a fair chance for each player to win. No matter how unfair or dire things may seem, there's always a chance for victory. This rule does not apply to the last room, however. That's it. The rules are pretty simple, don't you think? Yeah, I guess they make sense. The woman dressed in green raised a hand as she looked over to the doors. What does being disqualified mean? Did we just sit out and wait for the winner, or are we kicked back to where we came from? Oh yeah, I hadn't even thought of that. When this is all done, you'll be bringing us back to the real world, I guess, right? Of course, I can't have you staying here forever after all. As much fun as it would be to keep you all here is actually not in my best interest and not really allowed either. Oh, but to answer your first question, Laura, about what happens when you get disqualified, it's really a simple thing. You die. Huh? Die? Hold on. I didn't agree to any death game here. Yeah, that's ridiculous. We didn't sign up for this. Well, you kind of did. Coming into my realm means that you want to accept the part and portion of my games. Scared of a little death? You're not going to get far if you chicken out this early in the game. Wait, how are you so calm about this? Did you not hear what she just said? There can only be one winner, which means the rest of us are going to die. That doesn't freak you out? Nah, not really. What the hell's wrong with you? He's right, you're being completely ridiculous. I don't care if you're giving the keys to the gates of heaven. There's no way in hell that we're participating in anything like this. Oh, but you have no choice, dear Lilith. Everyone has to play. Lilith, maybe you should take a moment to breathe and calm down. Calm down? She's telling us that we're playing a game that could kill us, and I've got no intentions of playing along. Let her talk, old man. She's gonna have to learn a lesson the hard way. I'd prefer it if she didn't. Fuck you. I can't believe you're all just gonna go along like this is normal. Really? You won't play a single game? Do you have shit stuck up your ears, or do you like playing coy? You're making a bad move, lady. I wouldn't keep egging her on like this if I were you. Oh, what is the dear old goddess going to do? Punt my ass to hell? That's a fun idea, but why don't I just do this instead? Belle winked before snapping her fingers. I expected something to happen to Lilith, like she had blown up or get engulfed in the flames or face some other kind of divine punishment, but instead we all turned our heads when we heard a familiar voice cry out in pain. Yeah. The woman's body was being constricted by a large snake, slowly curling and binding her until she's completely immobilized and lying helpless on the ground. Ah! Each of her screams slowly shortened as the snake continued to squeeze her, choking out her breath after breath. Holy shit! What the actual fuck are you doing? Let her go! The red-haired woman ran over to the snake and valiantly to wrestle the beast off the green-headed woman as best as she could. Can you fuck stop watching and help me? Right. I swallowed my fear and attempted to take a step forward, but Devin pulled my arm and silently shook her head. It's not worth it, man. Somehow her words sapped out all the courage I had, and I felt myself freeze in place as everyone else continued to simply stare. Fuck, it's gonna be okay, Laura. Don't worry, I'm gonna get you out of this. Laura continued to gasp for air as the snake constricted her, paying no heed to Lilith's attempt to pry it off. Then Belle simply stepped behind her and smugly placed a hand on Lilith's shoulder. Oh, look at Zizzy. Having good fun with your sister. Oh, but she does tend to play a little rough. If you want me to remove her, all you have to do is agree to play the game. You... The woman turned around just for a moment, meeting Belle's cocky smirk with a glare of pure fury. Fine, I'll play. Just get the snake off of her. Excellent! Belle snapped her fingers once more, and in a puff of smoke, the snake vanished, leaving Laura clutching her chest and taking heavy breaths as she embraced her sister. Hey, I'm here, Laura. It's gonna be okay. Just breathe. Just take deep breaths and steady breaths. Shit, man, we haven't even started playing yet. Things are hectic. It's gonna be a hell of a game. I looked between the skateboarder and the red-haired woman, and I just wanted to punch the bastard right in his mouth for all the horrible things he said. But with Devin anchoring me, I did nothing but ball my fist to my side. Wonderful. With that out of the way, I think we're all ready to participate. You all understand the rules, yes? Know the questions that need to be answered before we begin? This was real. Whoops, I clicked too fast. I'm just gonna have to play through a bunch of death games just to survive. Christ, what the hell am I supposed to do? I'm not ready for something like this. Fuck. No, stop. Don't fucking panic. Especially not when Devin's right here. You gotta at least act like you got your head on right. Let me save. Because I don't want to reread all that bullshit again. Take a minute to calm down and think things through. There's just a few games, competitions. That means that everyone's here is a competitor to deal with. They're just people with strengths and weaknesses just like anyone else. If Devin and I were going to survive, then I need to get a good read on each of them to know how to proceed. So I took a step back and remembered what happened right after we arrived. After Devin and I, it didn't take long for some others to show up. The pair that came first was... That's right, these two. This is the place, huh? It's quite beautiful, don't you think? In a stranded survivor sort of way, I suppose. Right. Oh, look at those ladies. They got a nice mushroom aesthetic going on. They could pass for modern day Mario and Luigi. I doubt that they're plumbers, but they're not wearing overalls. Don't have the hats either. Nope. Well, don't just stand there. Go say hi. Why do I have to do it? Because you're standing up and I'm sitting down. That means I'd have to take a few extra steps to actually get up and walk over there. Or I could yell. Do you want me to yell? You wouldn't. Hey, mushroom ladies! Everyone tensed up at Devin's sudden scream, and the woman with the green hat nearly collapsed on the ground. The redhead one, in turn, balled up her fist and approached us. What are you doing? Starting a conversation. What the hell are you making such a racket for? Was it my idea? He told me to do it. No, I didn't. The redhead woman glared between the two of us with an ear that could probably melt steel. But before either of us could get another word in, the other woman meekly walked over. Did you want us for something? Oh, well. We were just wondering if you were here for the same reason as just of us. Oh, for the Digits of Eden Treatment Center? Did someone refer you here too? Refer? I didn't know there was a referral system. I just won it through a raffle. Oh, I didn't know they had a raffle for this. Someone suggested that I should try this place. Ah, but where are my manners? My name is Laura Ophio, and this is my sister, Lilith Ophio, and I'm only here because my sister needs a +1 or something like that. Lilith and Laura Ophio, the first two people we met. Laura seemed sweet and kind lady, and honestly a bit of a pushover, and more importantly, she seemed about as clueless as the game of fortunes as I was. Honestly, she didn't seem like someone that could pose much of a threat of her own. But Lilith? She seemed like the type of person that would fight for forces of the heaven and hell for her sister. Probably wouldn't hesitate to beat the hell out of anyone that stood in her way either. Obviously, she didn't seem to care about the opinions of others. She was just real rough. Yeah, she was someone that I'll have to keep an eye on at least so I could stay out of her way. Sorry, I didn't mean to drag you here. I know, and I'm just glad we aren't actually being kidnapped. That'd be pretty bad. I know, right? That's what I was telling Clyde. He's such a worrywart. Shut up, you. We introduced ourselves as Laura, and Laura's smile softly reassured me, while Lilith's eternal scowl sent shivers down my spine. This is my first time doing this sort of thing. What happens next? From what I've heard, we're supposed to wait. Sorry, I had to move my chair. I guess there are more people coming. That makes sense. It would be odd if it was just the four of us here, wouldn't it? What would the right number be? Beats me, but I'm sure they'll tell us whenever the right amount of people show up. I'm just relieved that we aren't alone. It would have been really scary if we showed up and it was just the two of us. There's comfort in numbers for sure. Let's just hope that the rest of the people that show up are agreeable. I don't want to have to deal with any fools or jackasses here. Lilith. While they bickered, I look over to the new arrivals. The first pair consisted of a large, burly man in a suit and a professionally dressed woman with white hair. The other pair had two men. The first was an elderly man with grayish hair, while the other wore a black scarf and a striped purple sweater, almost blending in with the darkness. Yo, that guy is huge. He's pretty big. Do you want me to yell again to get their attention? Please don't, Devin. I'll go and talk to them just for the love of God. Don't scream again. If you do, I'll clamp your lips shut myself. Ooh, feisty. No, she really means it. Maybe we should go sit somewhere for a moment, Lilith. Go call over the huge dude. I want to see if he can lift me with just one arm. You really don't have to have a filter, do you? Either way, I was ready to walk over to the burly man and his partner, but I felt a hand on my shoulder before I could even take a step. Thought it was Devin at first, but when I turned my head to look... Ah! This time, I was the one who yelped, nearly falling on my ass as I did. It felt like this guy's soulless eyes were prying into my very being. Looking over, I saw a chunk of the crowd staring at me, and I felt beads of sweat roll down the sides of my face. That was pretty loud. No shit, you just snuck up on me from behind and grabbed my shoulder. I don't even know you. Sorry, you look like you wanted to speak, so I figured I'd stop by and say hello. Well, he's awfully friendly, isn't he, Clyde? More like creepy. I get that a lot. Maybe you should try and not sneak up on people then? Richard, what did I tell you about scaring people like that? I wasn't scaring anyone, Dad. I just was introducing myself. I looked over to the old man before rebuking the crowd. This old man is this guy's father? Apologies for that. He should know by now that he should announce himself before approaching people, as long as he doesn't do it again. Thank you for being understanding. He's just a little eager tonight. Or is it morning? It should be morning. Right. So, who are you exactly? Are you here for the treatment center too? Treatment center? Is that what they're calling it nowadays? Is this the Digits of Eden Treatment Center? The old man and his son looked at one another awkwardly before turning back to me. Sure, of course. You're here to get someone you love healed, right? Yeah, why the long pause? No reason in particular. Just had to do a little bit of thinking. But suffice to say that my son and I aren't particularly here for the treatment in the traditional sense. We're not here for treatment at all. Then why are you here? That, my boy, is a bit of a secret, but it'll be revealed in due time. Anyways, I've spoken enough without giving the proper introduction. One without making your heart jump out of your chest anyway. I'm Philip Oswald Descartes, and this is my son, Richard Descartes. Hi. These two were a bit troubling more than Laura and Lilith. Philip clearly knew a bit more than he was letting on, or at least he knew something about the whole Game of Fortune business, or maybe the Digits of Eden. Though aside from that, he seemed a bit of like an oddball. Unlike Richard, who was hard to get a read on, he was the quiet side and a bit creepy. I just got the feeling that he was trying to read me as much as I was trying to read him. Still, did that make him dangerous? Maybe he was just someone that I need to keep an eye out for. Right. I'm Clyde, and the human-shaped sleeping bag on the ground is my friend and coworker Devin. I gained sentence after Clyde made a wish on a shooting star. If only that were the truth. You are quite a lively pair, and humorous at that. It's good to have spirit like this. You'll need it. We will? Oh, I shouldn't speak so out of hand. Just forget I said anything. Point being that as long as you two have each other, everything is going to be alright. The more you speak, the less certain I'm getting about this whole thing. Sorry, I don't mean to be cryptic. It's just... some things are better experienced than explained. Exactly. Thank you, Richard. These two are such an odd pair that I guess it made sense that this guy is Richard's father. It was a pleasure speaking with you. I look forward to more interactions like this in the future. Same, you're both pretty cool dudes. Cool. No one's ever called me that before. Gee, I wonder why. Either way, thank you for your time. Richard and Philip left with a kind of jolly pep in their step after that I wouldn't have expected from such a eccentric pair. They seem like nice people. Your definition of nice is extremely biased towards weirdos. Weirdos are the best people. They have nothing to hide because they're open about being weird. That's some twisted logic if I ever heard it. Oh, I thought it was just rather straightforward. In our brief intermission, the pair from before had walked up to us. I couldn't help but feel intimidated. The suited man was bigger up close, and his presence was impossible to ignore. Still, I didn't want to let myself get paralyzed by fear. These were just people, and by the way, the woman was talking. They'd just been listening to our conversation. Were you eavesdropping on us? Eavesdropping is such a harsh word. Especially since you were the one screaming a moment ago, I assumed you wanted our attention. Well, that wasn't really a cry for your attention. Then perhaps it was a cry for help? In a way, yes. Well, then good news for you is that when it comes to protection, Everett here is quite capable. I'm not a bodyguard, you know. Don't introduce me like that. Sorry, it just seemed like a fun way to start a conversation. Burly man. Devin, stop being rude. It's no insult. I know I have a rather large frame compared to most. Besides, I'm sure she only meant it as a compliment. Of course, you're huge, and it's kind of awesome. Thank you, thank you. The man seemed to be taking the compliment well enough, but my eyes kept darting over towards the woman, her sharp eyes surveying me from head to toe. Can I help you? Probably not, but I figured I wouldn't pass up an opportunity to have a nice chat. You seem to be having an interesting one with Philip and Richard over there. You were listening in on that? I have good hearing, what can I say? Since you seem to know so much about us, the least you could do is tell us your name. Oh, I don't know any more about you than what you just said out loud. But anyways, they call me Teresa Reinhardt. And the big guy? Didn't you hear his name before? I said his name first. I was distracted. I don't remember what you said. Tisk, tisk, you need to keep your ears open. It's fine. My name's Everett Cordaza, and I'm an accountant. Money and muscles, you got it all, don't you? Well, my life's not perfect, and I'm certainly got a lot of things under control. What's wrong, Clyde? You look like you got something that you want to say. It's nothing serious. I'm just really curious about why you're here. That's the golden question. I bet you're going to be asking everyone, aren't you? I suppose that means you're new to all this then? Yeah, we're new to whatever this thing is. Oh, then it's going to be fun. I can't wait to see how things go. You're dodging my question, though. Oh, that? Sorry, we'll answer that. Everett, why are we here again? Confidential. Confidential. Yes, I'm not really as liberty to speak about that right now, but maybe we can later. All that build up and you're just not going to tell us? Well, tell you just not now. It's probably nothing that you need to worry about. I can't help but feel more worried. I can't help you with that, but things will be revealed soon enough. Thanks really goes along in making me feel like I'm not in danger. You're not in any danger here. That's all I can assure you. No one here thus far has made me feel the way. Oh, seems like more people have arrived. You should go do the honor of greeting them. Since when did we become the welcome committee? Well, it's just some sound advice. You probably want to get to know people here and save yourself from suffering down the line. Suffering? Oops, did I say that out loud? It was nice meeting you, and I hope Teresa didn't scare you too much. She just likes messing with people. Yeah, I gathered. These two. They worried me the most out of everyone so far. Everett seemed polite, but when he had the strength and likely the wit and spades, he almost seemed like some kind of hotshot spy going on a mission that clearly had given him more intel than me. And Teresa, well, she just screamed danger. She seemed shy, cunning, and a little bit too playful. Plus, I still couldn't shake the feeling that she seemed almost a bit too excited. Did they both know what we were about to get involved in this weird death game? If so, what the hell kind of preparation did they do in advance? And to make bets on the next people who are going to be like, I'm not risking my life saving trying to guess whatever weirdos might show up next. Besides, you don't even like gambling. It's not a gamble if I can tell there's going to be some weirdos in it. The first pair was a grizzled middle-aged... Hold on. The first pair was a grizzled, middle-aged man and a peppy young lady. And the other was a young couple that looked like they'd just come back from a concert, which, in all honesty, was a more welcome sight than the people that had shown up thus far. Actually, was that... How about you go and introduce yourself first? I'm tired of doing all the talking. Sure, I think I'm in the mood to talk right now. Devin stood up and looked between the two groups before heading to the left towards the older man and jockish woman. Hey there, what's up? That's really how you're going to introduce yourself? The grizzled man walked past Devin without a word or even a glance from what I can tell. Hey, Alphonse. No, bad. That's not how you're supposed to act in front of others. The lady pulled on the man's arm and dragged him back over towards Devin. Don't mind Al, he's just being a sourpuss. Was the ride just not comfortable enough for him? probably one too many bumps, and that's why he's being such a grump right now. So go on and introduce yourself properly, Al. She was nice enough to walk up to you despite your scary face. Alphonse Gilmont. And you work as a PI, like a private investigator? He's really not one for conversation, is he? I promise he's not usually like this. I'm sure he'll loosen up with time. Anyways, I'm Maria Faraday, and I'm a personal trainer, and I'm here to kick ass and take names. Badass, you definitely look like you can kick some serious ass. Thanks, but don't worry. I only beat the shit out of people who deserve it. And you seem nice enough to not deserve it. I hope so. My insurance doesn't cover ass kickings. Oh, that's tough. What if it ever comes down to it? I'll go easy on you. I'd appreciate it. Name's Devin. I'm a line cook, and my silent friend over there is Clyde. He's a dishwasher. I can introduce myself. Thank you very much. Well, you were taking your sweet ass time. Nice to meet you, Clyde. A line cook and a dishwasher, which means you both work at a restaurant. Yeah, that's pretty obvious. We work at a pizzeria, so if you stop by, you'll have to get my handiwork up close and personal. Hey, if you hook me up with some food, I'll totally give you a discount on a gym membership. A pair of pretty faces like yours would be more than welcomed. You hear that, Clyde? I think Maria's taken a shining to us. Huh? I suppose that's a good thing. Maria giggled before being tugged away by Alphonse, who had been quietly grimacing through the entire conversation. If you're done here, we have some prep to do. You need to learn how to let people have fun, Al, and stop dragging me. These are new shoes. Maria continued to get pulled away by Alphonse as she gave us a parting wave and smile before forcefully removed from the conversation. Maria and Alphonse, the two balanced one another out pretty well. If Alphonse was the muscle and wit, then Maria was the charm and face. Well, they were probably both muscle, but Maria seemed well-meaning and friendly, while Alphonse was just much more standoffish. Was it because he didn't want to deal with us, or was it because the private investigator doing his place like this anyways? Was it just a coincidence? Kind of reminded me of Lilith in a way, someone that didn't want to deal with the nonsense and might not be shy away from conflict. Though he seemed more like he might just avoid it if he could, but hard to tell just from first impressions. Maria, on the other hand, she just warmed up to us real fast. She was just naturally that charismatic and kind. Was it a front? Just a way to gain our trust or be on her side early? I didn't know, but now that we're in the death game, we couldn't be blindly assume that every friendly face had good intentions, even if the part of me really wanted to believe so. Look at that, Clyde. If things go well for us, we might have a date by the end of the day. Are you serious right now? What? Were you not getting the same vibe that I was getting there? She was offering us a discount at the gym. She totally digs us, or at least one of us. Probably me. She's probably just flattering you so you'll go over to the gym she works at and pay up. I think it's worth it if it means I get to go on a date with someone as cool as her. If you manage to stay committed long enough, that is. Psh, like you weren't interested either. Anyways, you're right. I should totally take the lead in these conversations. It's way easier than watching you fumble around. I do not fumble. Sure, keep telling yourself that. Watch and learn. I'm going to go chat up the next two over there. With confidence and stride, Devin walks up to the other pair, who seemed to be absent-mindedly tapping away at their phones. Weird. We couldn't get any reception here, so what were they doing on their phones? Before I could ask myself that, Devin had already called for the pair's attention. Can we help you? Yeah, look, I'll try to make this as direct as possible. My name's Clyde. My friend Clyde is totally into you and would like your number. What? Both me and the guy with the dreadlocks looked at one another. At this rate, people were going to know me as the loudmouth guy that couldn't help but scream every 5 minutes. Whoa, that is not true. But you were saying so many things about her, Clyde, how pretty she was, and I shoved my hand over Devin's mouth before she could say anything else that made me look like an idiot. But of course, the damage had already been done. Hold on. Sheesh. Hey, what's your deal, man? You think you can just walk up to her like that and ask for her number like it's okay? No, like I said, it was a misunderstanding. And Devin, I don't want to hear any of your excuses. You don't even know her and you're just going to ask for her number? Hey, man, seriously, if you just calm down for a second, I can explain. Calm down. I'll calm down when your jaw is busted and broken. The man grabbed me by the collar and raised a fist in the air. I winced, anticipating a painful blow to the face, but right as he started to swing down his hand, a voice rang out. Zeph, cool it. It was clear, sharp, and precise, enough to keep the man from going any further, and he let go of me. Hold on, somebody's vacuuming. I'm just going to pause right here. I'll catch you guys in the next one.